I have quite
Huh?
frequently in the past few years shaved off both my hair and my eyebrows
Like at the same time.
simultaneously. Yes. My maternal family have a genetic condition called trichoepithelioma, which presents as physical tumors on the face, small, non-malignant tumors, meaning they are not cancerous. There was a day I took my younger brother, he's like 10 years younger, to do NIN. Bruh, the stares, the way people were
God, I
looking at
beg.
him. A girl sitting beside us actually outright asked, "Is that chicken pox?" I told her, "No, it's not
It's
chicken
not
pox."
chicken pox.
And
Yeah.
she still just gradually scooted herself. She just kept shifting from
I'm
him small,
dead.
small.
Not
Okay, so Black Women Photographers is a global organization of Black women and non binary photographers all over the world, basically. I joined in 2021.
Hi guys. Hi everyone. Welcome back to another amazing episode of NKE. This is season 3. Drum rolls. Anyways, this is season 3. We've had 2 amazing seasons with 12, 13 amazing guests. I don't know. I stopped counting. But yeah, welcome back to another amazing episode. And as usual, I have somebody I've been looking up to.
Ah, very good.
So they're going to introduce themselves shortly, right? But I just want to say thank you for sticking with us. Thank you for sticking with me, and welcome to season 3. So
Okay.
yes, hi. Let's leave
Hello.
camera alone now. Good
Okay.
morning. Thank
Good
you for coming
morning.
on the show.
You're welcome.
So we're going to start with like basic introduction. So just introduce yourself, tell us your name,
Okay.
what you do, a little bit about where you're from, all of that good stuff.
You're going to have to slow it down. That's
Okay,
triggering an
no vex,
existential
no
crisis.
vex. Okay,
Who are
small,
you?
small.
Why are you here?
You can just tell us your name to be very
Okay.
honest.
Okay, my name is Coltan Kubiangha, and I'm a documentary and portrait photographer based in Abuja and Calabar, Nigeria.
How does that work? Are you based in both?
Primarily more of I used to be based in Calabar and I'm
And
now
then you
based
are
in
now
Abuja, but I don't want to leave Calabar out of my success story.
first, first,
And
first,
I do
first.
have a lot of work that takes me back there. So
Oh, okay, okay. So you shuttle.
juggle, both
She shuttles.
places.
She shuttles Abuja
I
and
do
Calabar.
shuttle.
Before we even get into the good stuff, I like to do would you rather questions, right?
Okay.
So would you rather shave off your hair, your entire hair,
Oh, wow.
or shave off your eyebrows?
Oh my goodness, I love this question. I would do both.
The woman was too stunned to speak.
I have quite
Huh?
frequently in the past few years shaved off both my hair and my eyebrows
Like at the same time.
simultaneously. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. This hmm.
Somebody told me I look like a child that has cancer. They weren't very far off actually. So I dye my eyebrows blonde, but sometimes
Right. I
I
wanted to
shave
do
them.
that when I was dyeing my hair, right? I had this very, very small window of opportunity where I could have told Pius,
To do your eyebrows.
bleach my eyebrows.
What
But
was the hold up?
I think I have too much home training.
Your hair is pink.
But I draw the line at my eyebrows. I draw the line at
What?
my eyebrows.
Okay.
Okay, so
Noted.
let's talk about your childhood. So tell us about your childhood. How was it like? Where did you grow up in? How was it like growing up? All that good stuff. The 9 yards.
Okay. I grew up in Calabar, in Cross River State, Calabar. That's very broad, my childhood. My childhood was great, I guess. For one, I had both parents.
Oh yeah, that's definitely
I
like
don't
bumps you
anymore.
up to fire.
Um, yes, I went to one school for primary school. I went to one school for secondary school. So my life essentially just revolved around school, house, church,
Church.
my grandmother's house. Basically, I would say I was a problematic child. Just the way I have told you that I shaved my head and my
Yeah,
eyebrows.
yeah.
That wasn't just in, well, that was more like my teenage years, but somewhat problematic as a child. Or
Yes.
society, what society would
Would
term
term
as
problematic
problematic. I
first.
think I was just okay. Yeah.
First. Okay, that makes sense. Do you have like a excuse me, do you have like a favorite memory of growing up? Something you did or a story you heard,
A favorite
Yeah.
memory. maybe I would say going to, what's that place called? This waterfall. Is it Kwa Falls?
Kwa
Not
Falls.
Kwa Falls. The
What's that?
other one.
Abokum, is it Abokum Waterfalls?
Agbokum at
Yeah.
Etun. So that journey
Yeah.
took an outrageous amount of time. My father drove us there because he used to work in Ecom. He drove me, my sister, and my brother there, and it took hours. Every time we would reach a particular landmark, we'll
You
ask people
stop.
by the road, please, how much farther is this waterfall? So that we know if we should just turn back and go. And they'll be like, oh, it's not
So
far, it's not far, just go, you will soon see it.
Moisha got there. Was the
Exactly.
experience worth it? The waterfall
It was worth
experience.
it because of the waterfall. It was so beautiful. So that's why I
Amazing.
said it's memorable.
No problem. Okay,
The
that makes
journey
sense.
was harrowing, but getting
The
there,
destination.
it was
That's
worth it.
giving motivational speaker. The
Yeah.
journey can be tough.
Word.
Okay. Do you have a story, whether fictional or non-fictional, that
Okay.
motivates you? So maybe you heard something, or just a story that you heard that motivates you in the sense of it,
Motivates me. Fictional
or
or
inspires. Let's leave motivation aside. Inspires you.
fictional.
Yeah,
I
or
read
non-fictional.
I read a lot of fiction books
Yeah,
actually.
same.
I read a lot of books in general and then fiction books. So I think everything fiction inspires me actually. Once I get to the end of a good book, I'm like, oh my god, how did
That's
you
mind
write this? So I'm
blowing.
also a writer.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes a
It
lot of
might just
sense.
be in my head,
But
but
you're
yeah,
sharp.
I'm also a writer. But yeah, anytime I get to the end of a really good fiction book, I am
Yeah,
always inspired, whether by the story itself or by the fact that somebody was able to write something so meaningful and whatnot.
profound.
I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
god, I must do my own. I'll stand up and start working. We need
Then you
to lock
abandon it
in.
halfway,
Yeah.
girl. I don't lock it like 6 times.
After a while, it just wears off, and I'm like, what? See as they do. What are you even doing? And I just gotta sit down somewhere, like,
Real.
let me do small, small. So yeah, all fiction inspires me actually.
Okay. All right. So how did you get into photography? Yeah.
So I started in like 2017. Was that? I think I had finished secondary school. So right out of secondary school, I had an Android phone. I think a Techno and
Mm.
then a Genie. I used to take a lot of photos with my phone. I started by being fascinated by nature actually. So I
Ah,
never used to take pictures of people.
just
In fact, I
nature.
hated taking pictures of people.
Why? People are beautiful ish
I was
sometimes.
somewhat anti-social, so
First.
I had an aversion to people as a teenager. So I used to take pictures of leaves, plants, SI Unical, University of Calabar. I would be standing on the road obscuring traffic. You see me carrying phone. I'm taking a picture of the view of trees.
Yeah.
I would take journeys to like Tinapa, if you know how far Tinapa
Yeah,
is from the main
yeah.
Calabar town, just to go and do a photo shoot of somebody there. So yeah, basically from taking pictures of nature with my Android phone, I moved to taking pictures of people with the phones.
Yeah. Why did you move? Did your social like aversion change?
That's why I said I started with my family and
Oh,
my
family.
friends.
Okay, that
So
makes sense.
it was the same circle of people. So I
Mm,
didn't have to worry about
yeah,
anxiety or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah. I get.
But yeah, from there, my father bought me my first camera.
Oh, Wow, that's
So
so
I moved
nice.
from using phones. It was a Canon 1300D, I think. So people started actually hiring me. The same circle of
How
family
old
and
were
friends.
you at this?
2017. It's always so hard to calculate my age. I know I'm 1 year behind the year.
Okay.
2017, I was 16.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I
you were
was
16
16
when
years
people
old.
were hiring you for like shoots. That
Yes.
is really impressive.
They believed in the vision.
Yeah, I believe in the vision too.
But the work was actually really good, so I won't blame them. I look back at work I did at like 16 years and I'm
And you're
like,
like, was I
uh-uh.
16 then?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, people would hire me, and with my small camera, I would take pictures in the church. I took pictures for a church calendar one time of all the ministers, the choir, and all.
Mm,
And I saw it in print for the first time, and I was like,
wow, yeah.
so I have family that live in Bielsa,
Ah,
and then somebody put in a word to somebody, and then another woman hired me. I traveled from Calabar to Bielsa
Biota.
on my own to go and take a picture of an event. I cross water. I enter boats and
Oh,
cross water to like Delta or wherever from there. So I did that whole event. I think it paid me 40,000 naira that
that
time.
year, oh,
That
that's
year,
money.
40,000
Oh,
was a huge amount of money.
yeah,
I
yeah.
was so proud of myself. That was just a circle. The second
That's
person
so
that hired
nice
me for a major job was from that woman.
from that
So
woman.
after the 40,000 naira one, the next job I did, I went to Port Harcourt and they paid me over 100,000 naira. That
Oh, yeah,
was
Bollywood
around the same amount that the Canon camera cost.
was
So like the second job I did paid me enough to have bought
a camera.
exactly. So I was
Damn,
balling.
you were balling. Okay, so still on the topic of photography,
Okay.
right? I see that you are a member of Black Woman photography.
How did I
Oh yeah,
join?
how did you get in? What's the journey like? What do they do? Do they like support photographers, etc, etc?
Okay, so Black Women Photographers is a global organization of Black women and non-binary photographers all over the world, basically. I joined in 2021.
Yeah.
That was like a year after the inception.
Mm.
I sent in an application. I think I filled a form, a Google form.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
founder is Polly Irungu. She's a photographer and she's in America. Then it was somewhat smaller, so everything passed like directly through her. I
Through her,
emailed her.
yeah. Okay.
Yes, so I sent some of my work and I sent like a short bio, I think. They asked about my journey in photography so far.
Yeah.
And yeah, I went through the review process and basically that was it. I became a member. So it's not just an organization, it's also a directory, like where
Okay,
you're
okay,
based, so
okay.
that if
First,
clients want to hire
they can go
black,
on.
yeah,
Yeah, that makes
because of
sense.
the disparity per se in the photography world and how it tends to be a male dominated
Dominated,
field and all that.
yeah.
So this was specifically for black women and I saw it all the way from Nigeria and I was like, this would be cool,
Yeah.
especially because I didn't know a lot of black women photographers in
Then,
real life.
yeah.
So I was like, definitely a community of this, even though it's online, will
Mm,
be great. And I joined in basically.
that makes sense. That's
They
amazing.
it's a very great organization actually. We're asking if they like help you.
Yeah.
So they do grants, occasional periodic grants. They have a grant with Nikon.
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's recurring. So anytime there's an application cycle, you just apply and not just Nikon, like they collaborate with different companies basically. So I recently won a giveaway for
Mm,
the brand is called Format. My website, I
yeah,
have a
yeah,
new
yeah, yeah,
website
yeah,
now.
yeah. I think I saw
Now it's kind
that.
of like I'm veering off, but it was a collaboration between Black women photographers and Format
mm,
to win like a website. There was the option of a free website for life. There was the option of like $500 and then but yeah, I was a runner up, not the
the actual
main
winner.
winner. But
Yeah.
now I have a website. The website was free for 1 year, so I don't have to
Mm,
pay for it until 1 year elapses, and
that
then it's
makes
like a
sense.
subscription.
That makes sense. So essentially, they like partner with different like people to
Exactly to
like
bring
support.
you as much
That makes sense.
exposure and all. I also got a feature on Oprah
Daily,
magazine.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and
So
it
that
was through Black
black
women
woman
photographers.
photographer
So that's just a few of the things that I've been able to do through the
through them.
organization. So
That makes
it's
sense.
really helpful and all that.
All right. Moving on.
Okay.
What are your memorable or what are your most memorable collaborations so far? Yeah.
Collaborations, photography
Yeah,
wise.
photography wise, yes.
Okay. I have to think of this one. one immediately came to mind, but I'm trying to think if there's any other one because you said collaborations.
Yeah.
So I think that was last year, almost exactly 1 year ago. I did a collaboration with, I'm trying to see how his name is pronounced. Ogaga. Yeah, Asamage Ogaga. He was in Calabar to photograph an exhibition for
Mm.
Etinosa Yvonne, and
Yeah.
he reached out to me, and then we did a collaboration shoot in the old residency museum in Calabar. So
Oh.
I've worked with quite a lot of people, I think. Yeah, I would say quite a lot of people, but it was very different in a way that I was working with creatives that knew what they were
They were
doing.
doing,
It's not just about being
yeah.
passionate about the work and all that. Like everybody, the models that were there
Mm.
were actual models. So the work was just so seamless, and
Mm.
the way he does his work also,
Mm.
I would say that's like the
That's what made
most,
it
yeah.
memorable. That makes sense. That makes sense. All right. So a lot of your work, well, your Instagram, the work that I see on your
Okay.
Instagram, right, reflects a lot of cultural heritage,
Okay.
right? So how do you think that kind of influences your work, or like your inspiration, or like what you shoot? How do you think like your cultural heritage or your cultural background influences your work, essentially?
Okay. So it is a major part of my work. Doesn't just influence my work actually. A major part of my work is to document Efik culture. So yeah, aside from just inspiring my work, it is a major part of my work to document the culture. Because we have several festivals like Utomobong in
Yeah,
Yoruba and
Yoruba,
all.
yeah.
And I grew up going for these festivals with
Yeah,
my father and with my family and all that. So I just, having gotten into photography, it just made sense that I didn't see a lot of documentation of these
of that,
festivals
yeah,
in the
yeah,
way I wanted to.
yeah,
Not that there wasn't documentation of it, because there's a lot of Ekpe videos on YouTube and all that.
yeah.
But like photography, the kind of, I don't know, I didn't see any documentation of it. The way I saw the festivals, nobody was able
Nobody
to
was seeing
express
it
that.
that way.
So, and obviously you want the world to know your culture and all of
Mm,
that. So
yeah,
I started documenting Utomobong. I will sew three different onyonyo for each of the festival. Onyonyo is like a traditional
if
dress.
yeah,
Yeah. And usually media at these festivals are always wearing black.
yeah,
They're wearing like black t-shirts
yeah.
and black trouser. But I will go for events. I'll be
With
dressed
your
as one of the people
yo.
that are participating, but I have a huge camera around my neck, or I'm just holding it and I'm going to document. So definitely my cultural heritage is a huge part of my work. And not just for culture, although it started from there because I was born and raised in
Race,
Calabar.
yeah,
But I also want to document other Nigerian cultures,
culture.
especially
Mm,
some Yoruba cultures. So my mom grew
mm.
up in Lagos and she speaks
Ah.
Yoruba too, although I don't speak it. I only understand to an extent. So I also want to see some of the things that she saw growing up. I want to
Mm,
be able to go to different places in Nigeria and document our
document.
Nigerian culture and all of that.
Okay, so moving on. So aside from like cultural heritage, your work is also to document individuals with visible differences. I want to talk about that.
Okay.
Why is there like a specific reason you started doing that?
Okay.
And what do you like? What's your end goal for
With that.
yeah, with that?
Okay. So my maternal family have a genetic condition called trichoepithelioma, which presents as physical tumors on the face, small non-malignant tumors, meaning they are not cancerous, so they are just tumors on the face. And it could be mild, it could be very extreme, because I have different family members on different points on the
Yeah,
spectrum.
yeah,
So, and I've grown up seeing it my entire life. My grandmother had it. She lived to like 71. All of my grandmother's brothers, her family, when I used to go to Lagos as a child, I've seen, I can count at least 20 people that I know personally that
that
have
have
that.
it. Yeah,
But the more I grew up, I realized that, wow, people really don't know what this is.
yeah,
And we all grew up in like a, on a particular street, so obviously everybody there knows us,
knows.
and
Yeah,
we might not be exposed to what other people
the
think
outside
of
world.
us and
Yeah,
all. But as we grew more, there was a day I took my younger brother, he's like 10 years younger, to do NIN. Bruh, the stares, the way people were
God, I
looking at
beg.
him, and the comments they were making on, oh, a girl sitting beside us actually outright asked, "Is that chicken pox?" And I was like, well, better than making lewd comments. I told her, no, it's not
It's
chicken
not
pox.
chicken pox. Yeah.
And she still just gradually scooted herself. She just kept shifting from
I'm
him small,
dead.
small.
Not
And I was
gradually.
like, okay. My brother is not the type of person to pay attention or to
Yeah.
care. In fact, half of the time he's zoned out. So I don't think he really noticed. But I was like, ha, we need to get the word out there. Like, people need to know what this is.
Yeah.
And like I mentioned, that I started photography by documenting my family and
Young
friends. So I
friends.
have been taking pictures of them
Mm.
from the beginning,
Yeah.
but it took a somewhat different turn. I started this series called Faces of My Family. It wasn't just about photographing them, but specifically their
The faces.
faces.
Yeah.
So people could, like, up close, people could see the tumors and whatnot. And not just photographing it anyhow and putting out there for people to consume, like, oh, look at this caricaturish, whatever.
Yeah.
My thing is all about documenting the photo subjects with, like, maintaining their dignity and whatnot, proper portraiture. So yes, basically documenting, and it's on my maternal side of the family. So my mother, most of my mother's siblings, but not everybody has it, because obviously I don't.
Yeah.
There's the whole dominant and recessive
Recessive
gene
gene. Yeah.
thing. So my brothers do. But yeah, my thing became about documenting them, my family members with trichoepithelioma, even my sister that doesn't have it. So like the entire family basically, but specifically the people with the tumors.
Yeah.
I'm putting it out there, creating visibility for the work, creating awareness at the same time. Like, this is what this is. Specifically the fact that it's not
It's not.
contagious,
Yeah.
because immediately people see you, they're just inclined to, what is this? Then the time that monkeypox first came up in
Oh
Nigeria,
yes. OMG.
it was tragic.
Yeah.
It was so tragic.
Oh my God, I beg.
My aunt went out one day. They were doing this free medical service thing in Calabar, that Women and Children's Hospital.
Yeah.
So she went to renew her glasses, and she literally came back crying. That was such a horrible day. I think that was like the major turn in what
Damn.
made me start chasing the awareness thing so
Yeah.
aggressively. They didn't let her into the hospital, which was so bizarre because
Even if she had mpox, do
exactly,
you
they
not
were
want
saying she has
to?
monkeypox. The security in particular was being so aggressive. They practically bundled her out of there. And I was like, if she did have monkeypox, where
Where
would
does
she
she
go
go
if
to?
not
Is
a
it not
hospital?
hospital?
But she doesn't have monkeypox. She doesn't have a contagious disease, and she cannot enter the hospital to do her glasses. I was like, nah, this is outrageous. So I started chasing the entire thing more seriously. I have a photo of her on my Instagram. I don't know if you've seen
I
one of
think I've
one of
seen.
the most popular ones, because hers is more on the extreme end of the spectrum. My mother's one is kind of mild. But yeah, basically, so that's my thing, documenting my family members with trichoepithelioma. At some point, I thought it was neurofibromatosis.
Mm.
So neurofibromatosis is another condition. It's also a genetic condition, but this one can cause tumors all over your body,
Oh, not just the
on your
face.
face. Yeah,
Makes
tumors
sense.
on nerves all over your body. I imagine
Mm.
that's much worse than,
Then yeah,
well, they are equally bad. Let's
but
not
yeah,
compare per
that's
se,
true.
but Nigerians, I've actually seen somebody with neurofibromatosis on the road, and people's reaction, they are just immediately, they are just shifting, they are just
Yeah,
shifting.
yeah,
It's okay when they shift, like, it's not really your business, right? You just know people are avoiding you or ostracizing you. But when they start attacking you or coming at you
personally,
to make
yeah,
the lewd comments and all that, then it becomes a problem. So I had to rope in neurofibromatosis into my whole thing, like also finding and documenting people that have
yeah,
neurofibromatosis. And then I just extended it. I just used a wider term for it. That
mm,
my work is to document Nigerians with visible differences.
differences,
So
yeah,
it's going to expand. So far, I haven't yet, but if I find a model with vitiligo,
it's
I've
legal,
actually found a
yeah,
few. So I'm going to reach out to them. Vitiligo, it could even be like burn scars or whatever, not just natural phenomena, but yeah, anybody with a visible difference, being
mm,
able to tell their story, being able to create representation for them to see themselves in the media and all that.
mm.
That's essentially my thing.
That
And I know
makes a lot of
nobody
sense.
has nobody has done this before, so
Yeah,
I'm a pioneer.
period. Any other thing that you're like currently working on?
What am I currently working on?
Oh,
Yes, I mentioned before the camera started rolling, I want to do like a podcast type show
mm,
which is also part of the documenting Nigerians with visible differences thing. Not just documenting them with portraits, it's supposed to be also documenting their own
Their
words, let them talk
experiences.
about their lived
Yeah.
experiences by themselves. So, yeah, basically a short film in the works, and then the podcast style show is
Hmm.
what my fans, assuming I have any, should look forward to. So, that's what I'm going to be working on in the coming year, especially.
Okay, that makes sense. Excited for that. What's your biggest fear?
Ah,
Please don't deep this one. I like to tell people don't deep
okay.
this question. It can just
Because I was about to say narrow it down.
it can be
Cockroaches.
that.
Cockroaches that fly.
You know what I'm afraid of?
Don't all cockroaches fly, actually?
Yeah, I think all of them fly. Just some are like shy, so they don't be
I
flying.
don't like
But like I
cockroaches.
think all of them fly. Me on the other hand, what I'm afraid of is sitting on a toilet.
Oh no, and a snake crawls up.
Bruh,
That's
I
not an
have that fear.
original experience. That's not an original experience. We all have that.
I have that fear. When was the last time you were proud of yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like how this question shocks people. I'm dead.
It's giving existential crisis.
You have to reflect,
You have to
think
reflect.
about your life.
This is going to seem shallow, but I had a post go viral on Twitter.
I saw the post.
You saw it.
See, that's enough
Everybody
reason
saw
to
the
be proud
post.
of it.
Everybody saw the post. Okay, not everybody. But yeah, it had like, let me give backstory. I love backstory. I posted it on TikTok earlier this year, and it got a total of like 25,000 views. It was like image slides, pictures I took, and I did it in like image slides into a video. So I haven't been on Twitter all year actually. Came back like September or so. And I was looking for what to post. So I just went back to my old work and saved the images and posted them on Twitter. And I was like, when I saw that I was starting to pick up a bit, I was like, I was like, let's see whether it will be able to reach what it got to on
On TikTok,
TikTok, which was
yeah.
25,000. But it ended up with like 17,000 likes and like almost 500,000 views.
Wow.
That was the final I checked some days
Oh,
ago.
that's enough to be proud of
So I
it.
was like,
On Twitter.
it's the exactly
On Twitter. Yeah.
On Twitter. How many followers did I even have? I think I had
You
like
should be proud.
600 followers at that point in time.
Yeah.
It has since reached 1,000. But it's the fact that people were commenting in French.
Ooh.
So many
it
of the
got
quotes
to-
were in French. Nah, it
Damn.
left Nigeria, like left Nigeria. So I was like, wow.
Damn, that's
I
so
had to
cool
type some of them into Google, like translate
to
this.
translate.
And I was like, wow. So I was very proud of the fact that, not the fact that the post went viral, the image itself, because I
Yeah.
took that photo or that set of photographs, and to me, oh, I know that it is like, it's great. This is really something. But most of my work is also great, and I'm the one taking it. So I'm seeing it from my
Yeah, from your
perspective. I'm like,
perspective.
oh yeah, I've done another banker. Just keep it down. But seeing other people actually recognize it for the great thing it was.
That is.
Somebody commented that this is not a picture, this is a piece, this is art.
Uh,
I was like,
blow my mind.
word. So yeah, that was a moment not too long ago that I was like, yeah, you're
Yeah,
doing the work.
that's
Just keep doing what you're
that's
doing.
amazing work. That's amazing work.
Thank you.
What is your dream? What are your dream collabs? What's your dream collab? Give me two.
I think I just did a collab that I didn't even know was a dream
A
of
dream
mine.
until you did it.
Oh my god. So yeah, the author of Vagabonds.
Yeah,
I need
that
to make this a whole
guys.
thing. When
That
that book came out in like 2022 or so, I made it my whole personality. Never did I think, had I known, yeah, I didn't think I would get to meet the author of the book. So the author actually sent me a signed copy like last
Oh,
year or
that's
so,
so
and I thought
cool.
that was the height of it. But then I moved here to Abuja, and I got to work on a photo shoot for Days the magazine with Elogosa Osunde. So that was a dream collab. I never even envisioned such a thing happening,
But
and
it
it did.
happened.
So yeah, let's call that a dream collab. Dream collab. Who else? I want to do another shoot with the people I mentioned, the one in Calabar that was like,
Yeah, yeah.
and I think we're going to work towards that. I don't know if I'll be in Lagos anytime soon, but that would be a dream collab.
What's your favorite African proverb? It can be in like a folk language. Yeah, we'll translate it for the non-native speakers.
I
Yeah,
can't remember it now.
if you put in like context or
Is it
something.
Pangansa et Moidi Para? My pronunciation might be off. I don't know if it's Nsa or
Yes, it's Nsa. Yeah, it's Nsa.
yeah. I plan to get that tattooed. I can't believe I couldn't remember it. But yeah, give up the opinion that you will not die. Basically,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
will die.
You will actually die. Oh my god. All
Simple
right.
as that.
Thank you so much for coming. I don't know why I just did this, but thank you so much for coming to okay.
Thank you very much
Um,
for having me.
I'm excited for your podcast, for your book when it finally drops, because you will drop it.
It's not a podcast too. It's not a
Oh, your
podcast.
show,
Yeah,
podcast style show. It's not
yeah,
a
yeah,
podcast,
yeah.
podcast style show. Right. Also excited for more of your photography, shoots and all of that. And yeah, excited to see where you go in the future, what you do, all that good stuff.
But thank you. I really did enjoy this, and I'm going to have a lot more fun off camera,
Period. No, we will. We
whatever
definitely
that
will.
means.
It means that we're thank you so much. This is the